Go live. Hello. We trying this. When you take a nap prior to your show.
You wake up and you don't know where you're at.
You're a little bit tired. Somewhat tired.
Oh, but the show must go on.
It's going to go on, y'all.
It's going to go on.
We are so happy to be here again.
Yes, we are.
Show number 12.
Culture in the Black Community, Part 2.
Duh.
Part 2.
And we still sticking with my boy, so soulful. His name is Elijah Blake. The song is called The Hanging Tree. And truth be told, the song is so befitting.
Yes.
In the 21st century. You know, we just got a lot of work, people.
And we're doing it.
You know.
We're doing it.
So we ain't gonna stay flat, man.
We're moving.
It up.
We're moving.
It is.
You know we're moving because they're changing rules again. Mm-hmm. That's how you know we're moving.
You got to play this. I mean,
you got to play the game
harder.
You got to play the game.
So harder than what is going on out here.
Yes.
You know, I mean, there's some great things that have started in 2019 for our family. Love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Here in this household.
Yes.
Some great things going on. Looking so forward to in the next few months with family members
coming out to California to visit.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, we're excited about that.
And that's blessed. And in a couple of days, we gonna be
we're gonna take y'all with us.
Yes, so might want to be careful on that one, but we're gonna have a good time because that's in the month of February. But before we give you all them goods about what's gonna be going on,
yes,
in the months to come, I must say that I want to appreciate each and every one of you for joining us here at the T. I'm your man, Chauncey Anderson. This one right here.
I'm your co-host, Mayaka Anderson.
Yeah, y'all. I'm telling you, just look at it. She is bad.
Oh
Say like this: find you a beautiful black woman such as her, and you ain't gonna never have to worry about nothing. That's just me speaking out loud.
Haunted.
But like I said again, we had to put the little puppy you heard her in the background. She got mad, put her in a crate because she was disturbing the force.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, in the next few months, last week we spoke about the new birth in our family.
Yes.
His
Kenji.
That is a beautiful name. Kenji. I believe is how we spell it.
Yes.
Beautiful baby boy, 7 pounds and a whole bunch of ounces. I think it was about 12, 13.
No, 3.
3. Okay.
3 ounces.
You know, he can be big.
You got some big feet though, y'all.
That's what grandma said about him. Big feet, you know what that means, fellas.
We ain't going there. We just saying
anyway,
be tall.
Traditionally,
Samson. Anyways,
that's the beautiful part about that. Kenji was born healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Yes.
Must say to our twin girl, Polynesia, let her regain her strength. I believe she has been released from the hospital, and I pray that all is going well with her and the baby. Just phenomenal things there. So that was just in the month of January.
Yes.
So in the month of February,
yes,
we continue on this culture and tradition.
Yes.
We about to do. I think it's going to be celebration from and I. Our anniversary will have come and gone. We will have had our third year. 3.
He losing count already, y'all.
I love her.
3 years.
3 years. But we're gonna trip down to beautiful New Orleans.
Yes.
For Mardi Gras.
Yes.
2019. Hopefully we can get a table for the Zulu Ball.
Yes.
We can also do the parade and just all that comes with.
I'm
Mardi
excited,
Gras.
y'all. I've never been.
See culture and tradition. Yeah, she's never been down in New Orleans, Louisiana, let alone. But that's going to be a phenomenal time. It's going to be a great trip. Family also, Airbnb taken care of. Sister-in-law and her husband Brian, they will be joining us. So we just gonna, you know.
And we're gonna say happy birthday to my sister Monica, and happy anniversary to Brian and Monica.
12 strong years.
Yes.
You know, they doing it. They doing it.
That's
I'm
huge.
proud of them on that level. So
yes.
that, you know, like I said, it's just a continuation of things to come. Culture and tradition for us and the Black community is, or should, I should say, continue to be first and foremost.
Yes.
No matter where you're at, no matter what's going on. For me, I just had a special feeling this past week. Like I say again, with the birth of a new addition to our family, but then just conversations having with our children over this past weekend. Again, all of our children are adults, so that's even more exceptional. When you have talks and conversations and dialogues with your children about both culture and tradition. Our son, he's going to be participating in an event for Black History up in LA, and he called to talk about a family tree and the different things going on there. Our first, Brittany, she'll come down in August, but in April, we have Jasmine and the two
tyrants, the treacherous Stu. Mariah and London.
The beautiful two. They'll be coming down in the month of April. We've been talking about that for a while. We still haven't locked in straight dates. Especially with Jasmine, with the little one on the way. A little boy. We understand that to be. So that's going to be phenomenal.
It is.
There. Just to see your babies, you know,
go through life and maneuver and try and figure all of this stuff out like we all still are doing. We're just all on different levels. So
they're very much a part of our lives, and that's what's really important, that you have open dialogue, conversation, letting them know that, hey, you know, we're here for you. We ain't perfect. We still gonna work this out. You're part of their lives. You sharing, you pouring knowledge and, you know, history, and just being available to your children, even when they're adults. We call them our children, but they're young adults, and we want to always, I think that express that, always in the Black community, you should be there for your kids, especially as adults, because what we find that were difficult times when we were their age, now we're able to give them guidance, give them strength, give them encouragement. Sometimes it's monetary. You help them out. Sometimes it's just, you know, you're there to listen to them. That's what they want to hear also. Not always that you have the answer for them.
Right.
But you have suggestions. You offer up advice and allow them to step through that. So that's another great thing. For us, today is Sunday. Soon enough, we're about to be in Black History Month.
We have Black History Year. There's no such thing as Black History Month. We didn't do that.
We didn't create it. It was something that was
put on the books. They got to put it on the books and approve stuff.
As Maya say, we do 365.
365 here.
24/7.
24/7, because this don't go nowhere. I don't get like just February for this. This is all year long for the rest of my life that I am drenched in this.
Melanin is a beautiful thing, and sometimes it does rise up in you. And if you don't,
I am proud.
You don't get that.
That's right. We're
here to let you know. Even though they say it's Black History Month, it is something that we celebrate 365 days and 24/7.
That's right.
You know, and we're proud of our heritage. We're proud of our culture and our traditions.
Right.
Our ancestors, I don't think there's any other ethnic group that has the strength or
the resilience
or the ability to have gone through what our ancestors went through, and even to this day sometimes what we go through, and still stand.
That's right. We're still fighting.
You know, everybody, we don't really look for handouts or anything like that. Everybody wants reparations.
Yes.
But we gonna make this because we know where we came from. And sometimes if you don't know where you came from, that's the hindrance. And
that is the problem. Going forward.
Us being a spiritual people,
Mm-hmm.
that is truly another great cultural and traditional thing that we have going for ourselves.
Yes.
Historically speaking,
Mm-hmm.
when you look at what our ancestors did and how they would remain singing spiritual hymns, song, running away.
It's that communal, that communal spirit.
Yeah,
it's that communal spirit, and once one has it, we all have it.
We all have it.
We all feel each other's soul and our vibes. We definitely do that, and so that's something that definitely gets us through, and that's why we are people that need each other and need to be around each other, because that's the only way that we can move forward. We were never built to stand alone. We were always built. Created to be together in a group and living in a society amongst each other. And that has been taken away, and we have been drowning ever since.
And even to that extent, sometimes when we do commune together and we get together, the efforts to try to keep us separated is very big and massive on their parts, as if because they know that we're stronger when we come together.
Together,
you just think about sometimes that whether it's family reunions or cookouts or getting together to have dinners or parties or barbecues or different things like that. When we bond and we gel and we move, it's a unit that if you could take a overhead picture of us doing our thing, it's unlike anything else, and that's the most fascinating thing it has ever seen. Even in the church, churches grow by leaps and bounds based on Black communities, but we have to start getting a mindset to unite as one in all other endeavors.
It's moving with a purpose.
Yes,
basically. It's not just to get together. But it's moving with a purpose, with accuracy, with the understanding that we are trying to reach a goal, whatever that is, and that we're going to do it together. And that's something that we have to continue to work on as we build that retrust with each other and move forward. Is to figure out what is it that we want, what is it that we need, what is truly owed to us and worth fighting that fight for.
And even in that, with what Maya says, not only that which is owed or that should be had, but if we come together and begin that foundation of trust, of surrounding in our communities of that culture and tradition, before you know it, you will, without anyone else for that matter, giving something to you, you will begin to build and grow that which you set your hearts, your minds, and every else things to. Those resources that we pull together, they will begin to multiply. They will go well beyond sometimes your expectation.
Yes, they become a life of their
exactly.
own.
And that's why I use the church, for example, because traditionally that's what we've always seen in our communities, that once it starts to grow, it grows tremendously. And that's from a spiritual standpoint. So if you keep that spiritual standpoint, that aspect of it, and you put it in your finances, boom, you watch that grow. You put it in your education, boom, that grows.
That grow.
You put it in your health, boom, that grows. In your children's lives, that grows. It's just that dynamic. But sometimes we get caught up on circumstances, situations, or things that are going on, and we lose that focus. Either our household is our first and foremost community, the dynamic power that comes with that of a husband and a wife, with children, it just blows up beyond measure, because when you're pouring into those lives, the wife into the husband into the wives, them together into the children, positive attribute, lifting them up and things that they are doing.
Because families they build empires, and you have to have a strong leader. Truly. You have to know where you're headed and what you're going to be doing and what you're going to put your time and energy into. Because a lot of us are putting our time and energy into things that are not going to yield us anything at the end. And that, I think that's a lot of our problem right now. The majority is that we're doing things or investing in things that aren't good for us, aren't going to yield us anything. They're just going to pass and go. And that's how a lot of us get stuck. Doing the same thing we were doing 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You just never move because you're still engaging in activities that's unhealthy for you, your family, your household, and your future. So, and we do have to have those strong conversations. And not everybody's happy about it, because one thing about the Black community, we're not all on one mindset when it comes to certain things. A lot of us get upset or angry, and a lot of us always want to show the white man in some kind of light. I know who they are. I know what they do. I've seen it. I've read the books, the history, la, 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 la. I need to concentrate on me and mine now. I don't expect any more than what we've gotten. So me crying out and all of that, y'all want to march or whatever, that's fine. But the focus should be on your community and you in your family. So, we want to get our young children on point. We want them to teach them respect. Because if they don't have respect within our community, when we send them out there, you're sending them out there into wolves to do war as children, and they have no respect. They don't know how to communicate properly. And then you wonder what happens at the end. Am I saying it's right that, these things happen to our children and that they are disrespected, they're shot down? No, not at all. Not at all. What I'm saying is, look at yourselves and what you are teaching and what you are preparing them for. Now, just you can prepare them for the top notch. They could go out there and still lose the battle. Lose the battle. But it doesn't look bad on us. Us, because at the end of the day, you want your daughters and sons to come home. And that's what we are trying to get through some of the heads of some of you, is to stop focusing so much on the enemy. Because if you're always watching them, you'll never get what you need to get done, because you're so stuck on what they're doing. We need to concentrate on what we're doing and to go forth and prepare each other to go forth in that, whatever it is. And it won't be so, I guess, devastating, or we'll have another way to be able to come together and combat that behavior.
I mean, with exactly what Maya said, you're hoping to generate from within that what you want to project out, which in essence, that shines not only, I mean, Maya always sends me off in the morning when I go to work with a hug and a kiss, and she always says this: drive carefully. To me, I mean, although I know, I almost like instantaneously know what Maya's going to say, I always receive it. I always let it set in. So when I get in the car with my coffee at 5:30 in the morning, heading up to the train station, I'm about that business. I'm focusing in on what I got to do to get from this point to the train, to work, back on the train, back to the house. Same thing I think is to be said when my wife leaves out. She has to go and, get her hair done. Look at her hair looking all good. She pulled it in a ponytail. It was on point. She got them dreads dreaded. I don't know what they do, but they were solid, and she looked beautiful. But, she communicated to me, I told her, I don't know if she sent me the text first. She arrived, and then I talked with her on the phone. She was there, have a good time. And then when she was coming back, checking in, boom, boom, boom. Same thing can be said for if you have children, young children, and you got to send them someplace, young adults, when you're talking with them. I mean, just that name that they carry, of who they are, being out there, handling their business, being aware, because there's still a lot of stuff that is going on.
And we get caught up somehow
within our community,
not even purposely.
Because, like I say again, we lose that focus.
And
we
that's
lose what's going on. Our kids lose their focus. If they say they're going to go from point A to point B, you need to be there, especially today with this technological age.
There's no excuses.
They shouldn't be lost and not being found.
And not that is exactly right.
There's issues that are going on. That's where the things that we're trying to say for the Black community, our focus, we know what they're doing. Other groups of people who don't want to see us build
prosper,
and be strong and grow and do our thing together.
Right. That's always been.
Yeah, that's where you have strong men and strong women out there that keep that focus. And that, and truly, as our one great ancestor Harriet Tubman said, when she was leading them out, if one got out of pocket talking about I can't do this, I want to go back, she did carry a Colt 45.
Yeah,
and she
you gonna go down.
She would put them down
because your life is not worth all of these lives here, and that's what we're saying.
Yeah,
one life
get caught up
is not worth the whole community. So you need to check that one because it's hurting and it's like a disease and it will spread through your community.
Yeah,
and so and people don't want to hear that. No. You probably don't want to hear that because it's your son. You probably don't want to hear it because it's your daughter, your nephew, your uncle, and you don't want to check them. You don't want to say nothing to them, but they are part of that sliver of our community that's out there causing damage. But we won't say nothing, and then we'll go on and we want to judge someone else or say something about someone else. But you got that mess running rampant in your home, in and out your home,
and acting like it ain't there,
and acting like it ain't there.
See, because if you can turn a blind eye to that, imagine what you would do when some people are coming together trying to do something positive. Where would you be? You'll try to sow that seed of
dissension and division, and there we go.
There, we have problems, and so we don't let that come into our house.
No, not even with our kids, with our children. To put the hammer down.
I mean,
and they know it. I don't play it
all out of love.
Yeah, out of love.
We do that, and that's that's from the standpoint of the type of people that we are. That's the first thing that we do bring to the table. I don't care if you try to act like you harder than nails or you ain't got a lick of sense. If you Black, love is kind of like it oozes out of you because we're accepting of so many things. We want to have trust, but you also have to be mindful.
Yes.
Even a good book says, be wise as a serpent, but gentle as a dove.
Right. And you will know them by the fruit they bear.
And it ain't too many times you're going to give them chances. In this day and in the 21st century, with me, you got but one time.
Yeah. And we got to keep it pushing, and you got to stay behind. We're like the Harriet Tubman. We done learned. She done spoke, and we done took that. Oh, you can't come along until you realize who we are and who you are and what you actually want out of this. Because drama, dissension, all that, we're cool on all of that. If it is not going to progress us forward and get us to where we need to be, then we're going to leave it behind.
Yeah, the true measure of both a man and a woman is the things that they're doing. And so many of us have gotten to the point that we also talk about leaving a legacy for our family, for our kids. We need to be a living legacy.
That is so true. A living legacy.
Breathing, living legacies. Adult men and women that are doing their business.
That's right.
The same way that even if it wasn't done for you, you say, I'm going to set this standard.
Yes.
You sit down and be willing to talk to your loved ones about the things that they need to be doing. Now, if they don't, hey, it's their life. It's what they live. But that example that we have to be, ours is constant. We have to become consistent. That's something that just doesn't easily roll off the tongues.
Yeah.
And in the Black community, for a lot of us.
Yes.
If we would become consistent, I can tell you, within the start of this 2019, if you become consistent in the things that you say you're going to be doing,
come on,
you will be 10 times better off than what you would do going into 2020.
You would have shaved off years of lessons that needed to be learned just because you are dedicated
to joke.
Saying, I'm not going to do this anymore, or I'm not going to accept this anymore.
That's a wrap there. It's an absolute necessity that we as men and women in the Black community be accountable to what we are. We put our foot down and we state what we're going to do, and we be about that.
Yes.
It's no procrastination.
It
ain't, you can stumble.
Period.
I'd rather you stumble and fall.
Yeah.
And me help you get back up, or you get back up on your own with a purpose to continue to advance.
And never to start at all.
And that what you're doing, because that's our common thread. As more and more of us do that, and we become bound together with plans and with processes and, with determination and direction and drive, that it's not going to be, that bond ain't going to even be able to be touched, broken. You know, nothing will, shake, break us apart. We won't have to worry about that safety net. I mean, reason why I say that is because I work for the federal government. Me and Maya was talking about it this morning. We just made a little quick thing about it. Everybody going about getting payroll done and getting men and women paid. And we were saying, well, what do you think men and women are going to be doing going forward this time? You know, this is your
wake up call.
This is
a lot of y'all.
Fool me once, right here.
That's right.
How to say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Don't let it become a twice.
Yes, don't let it be that. Those that were that paycheck to paycheck.
Prepare.
Oh, yeah. Y'all gonna have to go on and put them Fendi bags up and whatever, all them lunches every day. And you're gonna have to start setting aside 6 months of rent.
Oh, yeah.
Just in case stuff like this happens, because you never know what the next day will bring. Exactly. And you do not want to be cut off guard thinking this is security for me.
Right.
Nothing is security for you but yourself.
Not by a
you or your security.
You're the ones that have to handle
that
business.
Going forth, I hope a lot of our people that were in this, because we were part of it. So it's not like we're talking outsiders. And I don't work. My husband is the sole provider of this household. So going through this, and yes, we do. Okay. We still do it together. But to get through this, I hope that a lot of people open their eyes and understand, because we've talked about it before. Finances is so important.
Very, very.
You need to know where you stand, how much you have, and how much you can survive on going forth if you lose your job or the government goes on shutdown. I mean, because it's not just the government shutdown. Things happen all through your life. You could get sick. You know, you need to have those things in place. And I think, we have to get our priorities straight when it comes to our finances and what we're doing, and, having more than one stream of income.
Multiple streams of income.
Yes, it's very important. And so I'm glad that the government is up and working, but I'm glad that we had ourselves in a position that we were prepared. Like, okay,
we said that when we moved down here.
Yeah.
In our 3 years of being down here.
I told him, I said, we
went to the next level.
Our passports need to be straight. We need money everywhere. I'm like, because you don't know. And this is why, because you don't know.
The man is, all I'm going to say, prepare yourself. I'm going to use this real quick. Again, my favorite website that I always like to check in on, blackdemographics.com. They said in 2017, about 73% of Black men ages 24 to 64 in the labor force, including 66% were employed. But they also talked about the number of personnel or people that were in the Black community. Over 50% of the workforce for the federal government, that's federal, state, local, and federal, state, and local. 50% of those are African American Black people.
Y'all hear that?
That's a significant amount of men and women in our community that work for the government
and was hurt.
And suffice it to say that at a moment, a white man can shut you down.
Shut it all down.
Just like that.
YouTube, Instagram,
all that.
Facebook. We might not be here next Sunday.
Exactly.
That's just how it goes. Yes. When you don't have the power and you don't control things, your complaining does nothing. Your complaining does nothing. Whatsoever. You have to figure out a way to get your own platform. You got to figure a way, if this part goes down, what is my BCDE plan? Yeah. Because that's just, that's just real. And I think a lot of us don't live in that reality. We think that this system that they created is supposed to hold us afloat. And that is just a false sense of security. There's no system that's really going to take care of you. All of it can crumble at any moment.
That's true. And that's where we're at, for what we're trying to do. Culture and tradition in the Black community is so, if you liken it to an iceberg, we have but just touched the tip.
Surface, just the
tip of it.
Yeah,
we haven't even looked underneath. I was telling Maya going to the store.